So I'm watching reed timber chase tornadoes in upper Midwest. And this morning, something interesting. It's out the back. I just washed my hair. Didn't do a thing with it. I just read something interesting this morning, or watched Dr. Ramani, who is an expert on narcissistic personality. And I've been really looking at this hard because 7 months ago we had a situation, I won't go into detail, even though, who's going to see this, where today, me and Paul have been really upset for like 7 months. And it's been difficult on the road to have family situations or whatever and not be able to go home. For whatever reason, we can't go. I won't get into that either, but it has occurred to me a lot of my more negative behaviors. This is what happens when you have lots of time to contemplate your navel. Some of the yelling, some of the wanting to be noticed, feeling like I'm not respected, not heard, the anger that would come up over tiny things, the build up to some little small thing happening, and I don't have dark circles under my eyes. It's just baggy. I'll put my glasses on. This one too. There you go. Some of the times when I would get so down and so depressed that I could sit for hours in silence. I would hide myself in my house or apartment or wherever I was living. Didn't matter if it was a beautiful day outside, I would hide. Just all of a sudden have this overwhelmed feeling of not wanting to deal with people. Now, part of that is INFJ. That's part of my personality. But also understanding people are medicine for someone like me. So I was watching Dr. Ramani about the serious reality of having lived with more than one narcissist in my life. And it's all added up to me feeling like I wasn't adequate, not good enough, wanting to help people, help those individuals, be present for them, not push them away, not set them off, just give them an opportunity to express themselves. And to my own detriment for decades, virtually all my life. And when I would get really upset about a small thing and then start going on a tear about feeling rejected, not seen, not heard, not respected, not asked about me, not ever contacted again. I will contact people for every week, every day, every couple weeks, reach out, text, call, sometimes for years. And then if I stop, it's 6 months before anybody notices that I stopped calling or talking to them, which has a tendency to make me feel like there's something wrong with me. Now, part of it, too, of living with a narcissist and being exposed to several key narcissists in my life means that I tend to over-communicate. I try to explain myself, hoping that at some point the person I'm talking to will understand and come meet me halfway, just back off. And that's not the case. I also I've been known to overbuy, like I would go to Goodwill and spend $50 on stuff, just clothes mostly, saying, well, it's, luck of the draw. There's a lot of nice things I want to see, I was like, no, and knowing that I really didn't have the $50. Now, I don't run up credit cards. I don't, we've had credit cards for bills. We've had them for, car repairs, house repairs, medical emergencies, what the kids needed, that sort of thing, because cash flow is not good in this country, as you all know. So, but I do see a tendency where I might buy something impulsively and then feel guilty because I was being selfish. I wasn't thinking of everybody else. And all of this stuff, and then get mad at myself. All of this stuff is from living with key narcissists in my life. Some of the narcissistic tendencies that were swinging from superiority to inferiority, where I'm off kilter and not, being not able to take care of myself, or not being taken care of, not noticed, needing that nurturing, that tenderness, that care that I give all the time, and someone I'm dealing with would give me a little present or send me a card or some little thing they didn't want that they gave to me, and I'd be like, oh, they love me, it's wonderful, we have a good relationship. No, it was very, very much piecemeal, and don't know what motivated it half the time. Can't genuinely accept it for what it is, the little present or the card or whatever, because they come so few and far between, and there usually seems to be a price to pay where I will be criticized, put down, blasted, told horrible things about me that are absolutely not true. And I have tried to wrap my head around some of the things that the narcissists have told me about me. And usually when I pushed back and tried to set a boundary, that's usually when they blow up and act out and really go after me. Now, I understand the narcissists. I know what happens. I know how they get that way. And as it turns out, none of it was my fault. I think that is a hard thing for me to say, because I want to know that it's my fault, because if it is, I can fix it and come back and say, okay, I fixed it. Are you happy now? But a narcissist is never happy with whatever you say or do. They're not going to be happy. They have a deep, deep hole. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they came from narcissistic parents per se, though some of these things can run in families. The average is if you have 3 kids, one of them is going to be a narcissist. That's pretty piss poor. But the other thing that really kind of stuck to me was that being a good parent, being a good partner, being a good friend, a good daughter, a good mom, means that I'm going to do everything in my power to help ease their pain, do whatever I can, bend over backwards, change the way I talk, change the way I act, dress, speak, what topics I'll talk about, because it can set them off. And the last thing I want to do is upset someone. I want them to be able to talk to me and communicate with me and feel loved and cared for. But then over the decades, where am I? So it comes out all sideways. So my shadow from the damage of being raised and around some key narcissists for decades has created a person who feels less than, who feels guilty if I take care of myself, if I set a boundary, full of regrets, wondering what I could have done differently, how I could have said the right thing, done the right thing, not done that, done this. It doesn't matter. And Dr. Ramani says, and this is what blew me away, that you have to have radical acceptance. Now, I've heard this term before, and it's kind of thrown around, like so many psychological words are thrown around. But I never really thought about it. It's more than just saying, I'm just not going to think about it. The scarlet hair syndrome. I'll think about it tomorrow. You know, it's it's understanding that nothing you could have done and nothing you can say now will make a difference. That they are who they are and they have to work that through. And they can't work it out on you. They can't work it at you. You're always yelled at for not being loyal, not saving them, not rescuing them, making decisions for yourself that are considered taking their autonomy. There is a shadow around living with narcissists where you become slightly narcissistic or passive aggressive or even covert narcissist in order to deal with the individual. Nothing's going to work. And the fact that I kept relationships going, and I feel like it was me that was keeping them going, is a testament to my ability to be diplomatic, try to keep my ego in check, and not to take things personally. But then always there's a point where no matter how delicately you dance on those eggshells, the narcissist is going to blow up. They're just going to blow up. So there's a huge sort of recognition of the wound of living with narcissists, the tendencies that I know I took on. Trying to be a healthy narcissist, maybe, is where I'd like to work. I don't want to be angry anymore. I don't want to have any regrets anymore. There's nothing I can do about the past except the way I view it. I can go forward, and as I'm listening to Ramani, I'm hearing in her, she's telling me this stuff on her video, and I'm like, I feel it's very personal. And then what happens? I'm thinking, but maybe, but what if they reach out? What if they want to talk to me? What if things change? What if they're dying? Whatever. And I'm like, no. They went no contact. I had to get a restraining order on one of them. I decided to go non-contact on another one, and it's considered healthier to stay away from the narcissist after a while. Granted, they'll probably move on to other targets, and they usually do, but not this one. And I'm still kind of processing the lesson. I'm still kind of processing the grief and some of the regret. I'm not going to say guilt, regret. And hopefully, like Dr. Ramani says, it'll lighten the weight I've been carrying around for so long. I don't need to carry it around anymore. I'm an old woman. I'm retired. My self-concept is solid. My self-image is solid. I don't need to be raked over the coals, dismissed, treated like shit because I said the wrong thing or did the wrong thing, and someone's not willing to communicate and be loving about it or open. People are making adult decisions. Well, I have to make my adult decision, and I'm way older than the rest of them. Radical acceptance is what I'm going to work on. It's a meditation. It's more than just not putting up. It's actually understanding deeply that these individuals have made their choices, didn't want to hear any other compromise. I always had to compromise my values away, my sense of order, my sensibilities about what was going on, being gaslit and lied to and pushed off and pushed away and then blamed because I got pushed away and didn't fight hard enough. Okay, yeah, makes about much sense, does it? So peace. Watch your head.